In this video, we're going to be taking a look at gathering and organizing information for your news report. Now, the first thing I want you to do is turn your Practice Companion page to 312. And what I want you to do is read through the model, and I want you to think about the types of sources that the writer used to gather information before writing the article. Okay, so you can see as you're reading page 312, I want you to look for the different people, the eyewitness account, the scientific explanation, the possible solution to the problem. These are all types of people that were involved in writing this news report. So I want you to pause the video and look and see at the different roles that these people had. Okay, so you can see that Jenny, Ryan, and the mayor all had different roles in the news report, and you can see that it is important to know what you're going to write about, and also know, if you're going to interview people, know the type of people that you want to interview. Now, most of these news reports will not have someone that you're going to be interviewing, but as you're doing your research, you may want to find someone that did have an eyewitness account in your research, someone that may have an explanation or maybe even a possible solution to the problem if it's a problem type news report. So if you're looking to conduct an interview, I do want you to write these few things down. If you need to conduct an interview with an actual person, it is important to write some things down here. So first of all, what you want to do is identify and contact a person. So I want you to write contact a person, that's the first step, who has been directly affected by the event in your news report. Now, you also will want to brainstorm a list of questions, so you want to write that down, that your written sources cannot answer, such as what were you doing when the event occurred, or so on. When you contact the person, you go to interview them, it is very important they have a list of questions written down already. You're not trying to just think as you're talking to that person, that you go prepared as you go to interview that person. Also, during the interview, write down what the person says, or even bring a voice recorder and record what they're saying. And then finally, after you've interviewed that person, it's important to use quotes in your news report to write exactly what the person said in the interview, and then also give credit to that person or identify that person. So it's very, very important, if you're conducting an interview, that you do these things with the person that you're interviewing. Now, it is important to know that taking good notes is really the best way to remember your research, and it's very important to know that, as you're doing your research, you can use a note card to record useful information for your news report. Okay, you should write down the source at the top of the card just for easy reference, and then you need to be able to paraphrase, there we go, the information, or write it down in your own words. If you plan to use direct quotes, you should use quotation marks, but very, very important that you take good notes as you're conducting your research about the topic that you're writing your news report on. Now, it is important that as you're writing your news report and gathering an information, that you're trying to see the importance of the information that you have. It is important that in a news report, the most important information comes first, the second most important fact should come next, and then so on. Okay, so you can see even on page 312 with the writing model that the first part describes the power outage, the second part explains the power outage with details, and finally there's a solution that is offered for the power outage. So as you're conducting your research and looking at your facts, it's very important to organize and see which one is most important, all the way down to the least important type of information. Now, it is important to know that as you're coming to class today, you're going to be filling out the event summary chart with the information you will use in the news report. So the event summary chart is going to include who, what, when, where, why, and how, considering your event or the news report that you're writing about. So as we're conducting research, we want to answer the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, and finally the how. Also, when we come today to class, you're going to be generating interview questions if you are going to be interviewing someone, and then finally researching facts to answer those event summary charts, maybe even a little bit more specifically. So this is how you gather and organize information for a news report. And you can see what it says on this slide. This is going to be your job when you come to class today. So if you have any questions about gathering and organizing information, please come and see me.